Agents, you have 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Second, 2 out, Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series. Open, Chicago with the lead. Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Under it, and to the middle with the 15, to the 20, breaks free of the 25, to the 30, to the outside, 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the coast, 20, 15, Hester 5, touchdown Bears!
Time in 6 seasons, it's one goal achieved. The Chicago Blackhawks win the Stanley Cup. A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it, go to Rizzo. It's in time, and the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up? What up? What up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this House Music Monday edition, the pre-birthday edition of your boy, the SuperBack Shawn Sierra, and that's me. I'm your boy. Man, I am fired up. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Listen, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to the show's page. Go to Shawn and Maya in the morning. Go to that page as well. Like that page as well. And now you're following the show's page and the network's page. Awesome. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real, listen, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago. Click the subscribe button. But in addition, click the little bell next to it. All right, that's the notification button. That'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, if you're watching us on our mobile app, yay. And wait, you didn't know we had a mobile app? Come on now. Listen, if you stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to. Stop it. Wherever you get your apps from, whether it's iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Walmart, Kmart, 7-Eleven, Zayre, Zemsky, Macy's, Montgomery Ward, Venture, Woolworth, wherever you get them from. All right, you go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it. You take us with you on the go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew. And I mean a slew of articles, thanks to my man Clarence, Counsel III. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles, Chicago sports related. Yay. Now, if you're watching us on our app, that's what I'm talking about, baby. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody. If you watch this on our Roku, did I say app? Silly me. If you watch this on our Roku channel, man, we have a Roku channel. You ain't know, you better ask somebody. Stop it. Listen, Sports Zone Chicago is now on Roku. So here's what I need you to do. If you have a Roku TV in the house, do us a favor. Do us a solid. Download the app or the tile. All right, download it. Put us right next to Netflix, Hulu, Prime, HBO Plus, Showtime, Stars. Put us right next to them. All right, and watch us on the big screen. We're on the big screen, right, Mickey Ficky? Now. That's what I'm talking about. The only thing is you can't get interactive with us. You can just watch us there. But you know what? Get interactive with us on your phone. How's that? Get it? I like it. I like it a lot. Now, you can also tweet the show. You can tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me, personally online, you want to know what I did? Well, let me tell you what I did. You want to know what I did? Well, here's what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, the Snapper, and TikTok. All one handle. You see it at the bottom of the screen at the Shawn Sierra. If you want to follow my lovely co-host, Maya Kai, you can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at the Sports Chica. If you want to follow her on Instagram, because you're an IG and you do it just for the gram, we'll just follow her at Maya_Akai. It's MAYA_AKAI. Man, we have a phenomenal show. But we need you to get interactive with us today. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, whether it's our mobile app, leave a question or comment on that particular platform. As I said, you can't get interactive with us on Roku, but that's okay. You have the other 3 ways to do so. Leave a question or comment on that particular platform. It'll come up here, and you know what? We will put it on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show, and that's what makes this the best Chicago sports talk morning show. Is you. Is your questions, your comments. We want it all. Smart ass remarks. Bring them, baby. Bring them. Don't just sing it. Bring it. So we got nothing. We ain't scared over here. We ain't scared of nothing over here. So we are ready. I'm excited. I had a good weekend. Great CrossFit workout this morning. If you follow me on Facebook, you probably would have seen my Facebook Live from after class this morning. That was a great class this morning over at CrossFit Warehouse. Now, let's see. Because you guys make the show, let's see who we got going over here already. Cornelius Squalls in the house. What up? Yeah, Michelle, what up? It's a House Music Monday. Man, the only reason I didn't wear a House Music shirt, I got to talk to my guy John. So he's got to do this. So remember, he created the socks. The house head has the socks batter, the 1983 logo, but it has the earphones on. It says house head. He created one for the Cubs. It's the Cubs logo with the Cubs little Cub head. It's got earphones on. It says house head. So he didn't create one for the Bears. He's got to create one for the Bears. He's got to. I'm going to talk to him about that. Man, that would be my House Music Monday shirt for all of football season. Actually, no. He has some pretty cool ones. We'll talk about Taco Tamale Fest in a second. When I got there, he'd sold out of the shirt that I wanted. Man, don't even get me started. You don't even know. I went up to him as soon as I got there. Hey, bro, let me get that. He goes, oh, sold out. I said, but I digress. Let's see who else we got in here. Michelle Walls in the house. What's up? Happy House Music Monday, and it's SuperBack birthday week. You're damn right, baby. Mañana, domani, tomorrow, my birthday. And guess what? I share a birthday with some of the greatest people in the world. My man Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. He's in the house. Good morning, baby. And you know what? We share the same birthday. We share the same birthday, July 25th. He's a little older. He's 4 years older. But we also share it with the GOAT, the greatest to ever do it, Walter Payton. His birthday is tomorrow as well. Yes, it is, Doctor. I'm telling you, I'm excited. I'm another trip around the sun. And you know what? Let me tell you something that we don't take birthdays lightly. People do. Some people do, and I get it. But as you get older, you start to cherish them. You say, yeah, you know what? This is a pretty big accomplishment. All right. There's so many people that we lose as we get older. We lose more and more people every year. And to complete another turn around the sun, thank you, lucky stars. All right. Thank you, lucky stars. I know I do. Good Lord willing, the creek don't rise and my eyes open tomorrow. I will be very, very, very grateful, like I am every morning. All right, when I get up. I know I have an aunt right now who's in the hospital with some health issues. And you talk about putting it in perspective, man, it really, really puts shit in perspective. And her birthday is August 2nd. Okay. So hopefully if everything's all right, she'll see her birthday, which is literally a week away. And it'll be 79. It would be 79 for her. So the completion of one rotation around the sun every year, they become more and more valuable. All right. The more you get, the more you cherish them. All right. So keep that in mind. All right. Because there's so many, we all know people who passed away long before their time for whatever reason, so I think on my Facebook page, how they have memories. I got one a couple of days ago, and we had just I received a memory from Facebook. It was when I was at Curie. So the people from Bolingbrook, for those of you who don't know, I was an assistant coach, defensive coordinator at Curie. We won a city title, went to the Prep Bowl in 2010. on 2009, we had a student who passed away on the field. He was actually on the sideline, but he passed away. We were at Bolingbrook, and Bolingbrook had they planted a tree for him, and they created a little plaque, Bolingbrook High School, and then they sent us a plaque, and we planted it. We planted it by a tree. So they sent that. I got that in my memories on Facebook, and that it kind of hit hard. My former player named Kwashi. It was a really tough time for us. And when that hit, in addition to my aunt being in the hospital with some health issues, again, it kept me grounded. It kept me grounded. And hopefully you guys remember that, there a lot more important things in sports. Okay. Pay homage to those, but also sometimes we need a break from reality, and this is what sports does. Say who else? Armando Emeterio Lada Jr. He's in the house. If he's in the house, you know what that means. That means Jeremiah and Armando Emeterio Lada IV are close by. Tanda Lee in the house. Good morning. I appreciate you. And you're damn right, Junior. Damn right. Leo's in this mother Hubbard. Hell yeah. Tanda Lee, happy House Music Monday, baby. I'm telling you, I got to talk to my guy, John. I was with him at the House Music or the Taco Tamale Fest on Saturday. All right. Yeah, Saturday. I didn't go yesterday. Yeah, and man, I got to tell him he needs to make a bear shirt with the Bears logo and some earphones saying House Head. Definitely. Oh yeah. Man, listen, when I say we got a phenomenal show, we have an awesome show. 9:30, my man, our guy, Evan Altman from CubsInsider.com. He's going to join in. Are the Cubs buyers now? Are they buyers? Because you hear a lot of people, even some outlets are saying they should still sell. What? We're going to talk to Evan Altman, get his thoughts on the Cubs. Cubs we'll talk about them in a second. But the Cubs coming off a nice little hot streak, and they're in quite a conundrum. They put Jed Hoyer in quite the conundrum. Buyers or sellers? Buyers or sellers? Buyers or sellers? We're going to find out what Evan Altman thinks at 9:30. At 10 o'clock, my man Glenn Morgan, he's joining us from NBC Sports Chicago. We're going to talk Bears, baby, tomorrow, mañana, which is why I'm all geared out. I'm all decked out in my Bears gear tomorrow. Players report Wednesday, first day of practice. They're on the field. Ooh-wee. I'm excited. I am excited. So going to be one hell of a day, one hell of a week. My birthday, Junior's birthday, Walter Payton's birthday. Okay. Yeah. There's a couple other people whose birthdays are today, which is really, it's so funny. Let me double check. I know I have to make sure one of my friends, her birthday. Here you go. I have to make sure because I think her birthday is today as well. Yes. All right. So I want to say happy birthday to my friend Judy from school, from Holy Cross, Judy Gonzalez. Happy birthday, Judy. She's out in Massachusetts running marathons and all this other crazy stuff. She's a beast. She's a beast. Happy birthday, Judy. Happy birthday to my girl, Sakina. Long story short, I just reconnected with Sakina. I remember Sakina and I grew up across the street from each other. Actually, her grandmother was across the street, and her grandmother would watch her all the time. So I knew her. So when did we move here in 79? So I was 8 years old. So I knew her till I was 8, and I just lost contact with her. And then about a month and a half ago, it was on Facebook. She replied to one of my friends' things, and I knew I didn't know too many other girls named Sakina. And I DM'd her. I slid into her DMs. And I was like, hey, are you the girl who, would go by your grandma's on 18th Place in Morgan? She said, yes, I am. And I was like, oh, my God, it's been 40-something years. So her birthday is today. So I want to wish her a happy birthday. She's having a birthday party next week. So I'm going to head out to there. It'd be great to see her for the first time in 40-something years. It's going to be crazy. So, yeah, it's nuts, though, man. Tomorrow's my birthday. I'm excited about it. And then my girl Patty, not Patty Lara, no, Patty Hernandez. I taught with her at Little Village High School. She's somewhere. She's not home now. She's traveling for her birthday. But I want to wish Patty Hernandez a very, very happy birthday as well. Whew. Oh, she's a dean of students at North Lake. Okay. And then tomorrow, all my peoples. I'm excited. But guys, listen, let's get it started, baby, because we're jumping off at 9:30 with Evan. And so you know how we do, folks. The first segment of every show here is called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
The first, here we go. The first top of the morning topics for today. Got to go with them. We got to start with them. The Cubs. The Cubs with a big win yesterday. The Cubs beat the Cardinals 7-2. Jameson Taillon. He got the win. He's 4-6. He went 5 2/3. 7 hits, 1 earned run, a walk, 6 punch outs. And our man, Cha-Ching himself, Cody Bellinger, he was 1 for 3 with a homer. He got things started early. Hit his 14th homer of the season, driving in. And on the day, he drove in his 42nd, 43rd, and 44th RBIs of the season. Dansby Swanson, who, if Cody Bellinger wasn't on his team, would be the best player on this team right now. He was 2 for 4 yesterday with an RBI, driving in his 38th of the year. And Yan Gomes was 1 for 4 with a double, his 5th of the season, driving in his 34th and 35th runs of the season. The Cubs put an ass whooping on the Cardinals. You know, what's interesting about that, and this is one of the things that the Cardinals are down. The Cardinals they're not that down. They're a little worse than the Cubs. But the Cubs came in, and they handled business. They sweep the Cardinals in a 3-game. I'm sorry, they took 3 out of 4. They didn't sweep them, excuse me. It took 3 out of 4. I'm thinking sweep. My White Sox got swept, but that's another story. They took 3 out of 4 from the Cardinals. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. You got to take, if you got 4 game sets, the best you can do is sweep. But if you can't sweep, you want to take 3 out of 4. You don't want to split because you come out of that series contingent on other teams. All right, you move up and down the standings based on other teams. This way, if you handle your business, you move up or you move down. So, big win for the Cubs yesterday, 3 out of 4. Wrigley was rocking the last couple of days this weekend. Cody Bellinger is just on fire. Him and his agent, Scott Boras, are excited because, as I said, I'm going to say this every day until the end of the season. Every home run this dude hits, every RBI he drives in is another cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. He's going to get a big contract. I don't understand. See, here's what probably is the reason. Like, I don't understand now why Cub fans are saying, sign him, extend him. Like the Cubs can just snap their fingers and he's extended 6 years, 8 years. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. It takes 2 to tango. And right now, if you don't know who his agent is, then I can understand why you're saying that. But his agent is Scott Boras. And Scott Boras, as we all know, Cub fans know, Sox fans know Scott Boras. There was a point where Kenny wouldn't do business with any Scott Boras clients, which I thought was stupid, but he only has the best clients. So you have the best clients. You don't want to do business with his clients because he wants money. God forbid an agent will try to get the most for his players. Oh, my goodness. But I digress. They're probably not going to sit down and entertain any talks. They're going to wait and take it to free agency. All right, take it to free agency. So the highest bidder wins. So now that puts the Cubs in a very interesting dilemma. Do you trade them, try and get some prospects for them, and then go after them in the offseason, the free agency? Or do you think you need them because you're going to make the playoffs? I don't know. We're going to talk to Evan Altman in about a little less than 10 minutes and find out his thoughts on that situation. But moving on. What do we do? Okay. Did you just? Oh my goodness. And you know what? I did this. It's okay. It's okay. I was looking at something like, wait a minute. I thought I made a interesting move. But here, listen. In the next top of the morning topic, I'm sorry to bother you guys with this, and it's frustrating. It really, really is. My White Sox. My White Sox fall to the Minnesota Twins yesterday, 5-4 in 12. You know, Lucas Giolito, who could have pitched his last game as a White Sox. Man, he had a hell of a game. Not a hell of a game, but a nice game. 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, no runs of scoreless baseball, 3 walks, 9 punch outs. Eloy Jimenez was 2 for 5 with a homer, his 13th, driving in his 42nd. And Remillard was 2 for 5 with hitting his first major league home run, and on the day driving in his 12th and 13th runs of the season. Listen, I am telling you, Tim Anderson is back. I know he hasn't hit a home run yet, but let me tell you, Tim Anderson yesterday as well. All right, he showed up and showed out. Continue going to center and right center. He was 2 for 5 with a double, his 11th, driving in the 17th of the season. And I'm telling you, when Timmy starts going oppo, he starts going to center, back up the middle, and to right field. Watch out, he's dangerous. And right now, he is dangerous. I got to get the numbers. I'll do the math. I get the numbers to him since he came back from injury, or even just after the All-Star break. Because right now, this dude he's looking good. Looking good. But unfortunately, the White Sox get swept by Minnesota. And for all intents and purposes, not even for all intents, it's over for the White Sox. It is over. There's no ifs, ands. They're 12 games back, 19 games under 500. I mean, are you not even embarrassed? Okay. This is the thing. This is why Sox fans are so disenchanted with this franchise. All right? I don't even want to go. I'm probably not even going to go to the Crosstown. Because that means giving the Sox money. Because it's the Sox Park on tomorrow and Wednesday. So I have the option to go tomorrow and Wednesday. I don't even want to go. I may go Wednesday, and if I do go, it'll be under protest. But this is just utterly ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous what they're doing there. It's yeah. So I'm not even going to, let me tell you something. Yeah. They have made baseball season extremely unfun in Chicago on the South Side. This organization, the front office especially, I can't really put it on the manager as a first-year manager. All right. I can't. It's god awful. It's god awful. So anyway, very quickly, the U.S. women's national team. Okay. They took care of Vietnam. It took care of Vietnam on Friday. Wasn't even close. All right. So don't worry about it. Though I'm excited. We talked about it. I'm excited. The girls, they're in defense. They're going for the three-peat. Back to back to back. And good start for those girls. The next top of the morning topic, the Bears. Bears report to camp tomorrow. Can I tell you how fired up I am? Have I mentioned how fired up I am? I don't know if I mentioned it. I really, really don't. I'm looking forward to getting to see this guy. All right. DJ Moore. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it plays out. All the talk is over. Now it's time to go to work. Real quick. So, you know how the NFL has their NFL Rush jerseys, but sometimes they have the throwback jerseys. The Bears have the all blue one with just the orange stripes. Remember, they used to have the up and down, the vertical stripes that people didn't like. But I think the NFL did something really, really cool. Tennessee Titans, for those of you who are not old enough to remember, the Tennessee Titans were the Houston Oilers, which is why Houston got an expansion team, which is why they have the Texans. Once the team left Houston, Houston was not happy. They still wanted a team, and then they finally got the Texans. But the Tennessee Titans were originally the Houston Oilers, and their uniforms were dope. They were a nice powder blue, Earl Campbell, powder blue and red, very similar to the colors, almost exactly the colors, not almost, but exactly the colors of the Chicago flag, which I think is pretty cool. You saw how the Bears wear their throwbacks. You've seen how the Patriots wear their throwbacks, the red and white ones with the Patriots centering the ball. Well, guess what? The Tennessee Titans will wear the Houston Oilers throwbacks coming up this season. If you don't think those are fresh, you and I cannot hang out ever. Here you see Derrick Henry. This is the unis. Those are tight. Those are tight. They had their own song, Houston Oilers, Houston Oilers, Houston Oilers #1. If you remember, there's a few of us who probably do. Those are tight. Those are tight. But let's see real quick. Luis Mejia in the house. Good morning, baby. How you doing? Man, yeah. Luis and I are big Sox fans, and he admits they're done. Yep. You know, the crosstown civil war begins tomorrow. It does. It's not even going to be fun. I think the Cubs are going to sweep. I think they're going to sweep the series here at Sox Park. You know, Junior, you're not the only one, bro. 2 seasons ago, I thought, wow, this Sox team's going to be good for years to come, and then this happened. Yeah, you're right. Earl Campbell, yeah. Luis, their training camp is going to be in Lake Forest. Remember, they moved it from Bourbonnais a few years ago. So you have to it's free. You just have to go online and get a ticket, park in the Hawthorne Mall, and they have a shuttle bus going back and forth. That'll take you to the practice. But listen, we got to take a quick break, and on the other side of the break, my man Evan Altman is going to join us. We got some Cubs to talk. What are they going to be, buyers or sellers? We're going to find out. We're going to talk to Evan Altman on the other side of the break, so don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
Yeah, hello. I'm really not sure if this is what you all do, but I really don't have anywhere else to turn.
Hi. I don't even know why I'm calling right now. I'm sorry. My thoughts are going a mile a minute.
My kids are out of state. My buddies from the Army are all gone now. I'm really alone.
I left the service last year. My mom just passed away a few months ago. I missed so much time with her. I keep getting calls about the bills, and I'm trying to get a job, but I feel so stuck.
Okay, ma'am. I'm glad you called.
Okay, sir. Let's stay on the line and walk through some things.
Thanks.
Okay,
Thanks a lot.
thank you.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Six, 42 ribbies.
That one is bounced up the middle slowly, but it gets through the glove of Montgomery, and he won't make a throw.
All right, here's Bellinger, best in the National League in the month of July. He rips that one out to center. Back goes Carlson, back to the track, and he watches it go. Two-run home run for Bellinger.
And that, too, of course, has been a big part of the story for Cody Bellinger. What a bounce-back year it has been for him, and he continues. You talk about being on it.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of NBC Sports Chicago. That was another belly bomb. This dude's unfreaking real. Unfreaking real. My next guest, he's going to tell us how unfreaking real this dude is, and he's going to let us know if they're buyers or sellers. Guys, he's the editor-in-chief over there at CubsInsider.com. You can find him on Twitter at @Evan_Altman. Guys, let's welcome back to Shawn and Maya, our guy, Evan Altman. Evan, what's up, Papa? Good morning.
Hey, how's it going? I got my cool wife craft room background going on today. So.
I was looking back. I'm like, that's not a bra hanging on that, is it?
Yeah, I hope not. I don't think so. I don't know. It's not one of mine anyway.
Sometimes you gotta flip the script, man. Keep it on your toes. Oh man, I love it. But I do. I'm loving that hat, Papa. I'm loving that hat because Wu-Tang is for the children.
Absolutely. Hey, looking forward to. I'm actually taking my son in a couple weeks. We're actually going out to Cleveland to see LL Cool J. But the reason we chose that one specifically is because Method Man and Redman are playing with him. He didn't get to see Meth when we saw the Wu-Tang earlier, so now he gets to catch up on Meth and Red. So I'm getting him his culture. So we're good.
Oh my goodness, that's dope. Is that a Rock the Bells tour or something?
Yeah, it's this is his first stadium tour in like 25 years. So it's LL Cool J, Rakim, MC Light.
Jesus Christ, you're taking him to a master's class.
Yeah,
that's
DJ
not even...
Jazzy Jeff is like DJing in between and stuff. So
yeah,
I think Common. I don't know if Common's on this. There's like a rotating cast, right? So some of the sets will have Salt and Pepper will be there, and there's some other, but I think largely it's like LL and Rakim at most of them. I think Common might be at that. So yeah, it's basically like, here you go, bud. Like, hey, you get to see Wu-Tang and Nas and Busta Rhymes last time, so now let's check off a few more like top all-time hip-hop artists.
Dude, that's dope.
So I'm pretty stoked.
In Cleveland, huh? When's that? Next
I want to say it's like August 12th, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, because they were coming through here in Indianapolis. That show actually ended up getting canceled, but that's like I said, if I can go see Meth again, Method Man and Redman and America's Most Blunted. It's a ton of fun.
Dude, that's awesome. Have a great time, man. But you know what? Speaking of a great time, you got to be happy as a pig in slop over there. You and the rest of Cubs Nation. The Cubs have just Took 3 out of 4 from the nasty Cardinals, their old rival. Talk to me about that. This was a big, we've talked about Belly all year. Bellinger is just, real quick, where would he be if he didn't get injured? Remember, he was out for about a month. Where would this son of a gun be?
Oh my goodness! Speaking of America's most blunted, like every time you see that dude, it looks like he just blazed one, right? Like he's just got kind of that look.
Cody, you're on deck.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah. Put down the one hitter, Cody. But no, I mean, not only that, right? He missed the time, and I think there was kind of this knee-jerk reaction because we look at what he's doing this year, and really this is a process like 3 years in the making, right? It goes back to when he injured his shoulder in 2020.
Yep.
Just in the NLCS when he was with the Dodgers right before their fake World Series championship, and he had the leg injury, he had all these things, and he finally got back around to it. But yeah, you look at these numbers he's putting up. It took him a while. He was out for about a month. He was really just right before that, and certainly after it for a while. It took a while to get back into the groove. But now we're looking at this dude who's maybe the hottest hitter in baseball, certainly in the NL Central or the National League, playing stellar defense in center. Played a little first base and looked great over there when he was kind of working his way back.
Yeah.
And, we joke about kind of his demeanor and seeming like he's kind of this hippie that got transported out from the free love era or whatever. But I think that part of that is this super easygoing mentality, right? I mean, he's a hard driving dude and he's competitive, but he's such a positive force, I think, in that clubhouse, right? That makes it really easy with the highs and the lows that come with baseball to have a dude like that who I think just gets along with everybody. Like who could be upset with this dude? He's just a chill kind of a cat. So yeah, it has been, he's kind of, the rest of the team is contributing. So it's not like his heater is the only thing that's helping him win. But right now he's that dude who they haven't had for a long time, who you can look at and be like, every time he comes up, and it might be, an RBI ground out, right? It might not always a home run.
Doing.
But he's doing something. Yeah, you want to watch this dude's at bats because something's going to happen, and he's contributing. So, it's a good bad though, because with every one of those hits, with every home run that he hits there, one or the other, right? It's either you can look at it and say, well, hey, his trade value is going up, or you look at it and say, man, it's going to cost a whole lot more to sign this dude next year, right?
Dude,
either way, he did himself a hell of a favor with this 1 year deal. It's a great investment into himself.
Dude, you must have been listening to my show because that's what I said. I said, but every home run and every RBI this Joker drives in is cha-ching.
Yeah.
Cha-ching.
Scott Boras is sitting there just rubbing his hands together. And it goes back to it, right? There were reports that Bellinger had some multi-year deals on the table, 2 years, whatever, because a lot of people were, and a lot of folks, a lot of Cubs fans even thought that it was silly to guarantee him 17.5. He's making 12.5 this year. He's got an option for next year that he's certainly going to turn down, and he gets a $5 million buyout on it, right? Like but he wanted a 1 year deal specifically because he felt, and his agent felt, he would be able to bounce back fully healthy, new situation, kind of change the mindset a little bit. And a 1 year deal was the best way for him to preserve, grow his value, and then parlay that into a long-term deal moving forward. And he has done exactly what he planned on, because we don't always see that, right? No. But and realistically, when you look at it, it's a tremendous value. Whatever happens from, right, the Cubs have gotten tremendous production from this guy. Maybe they work it. Maybe it ends up in a trade. Maybe they end up getting him to stick around. Who knows? But that kind of, in this economy, right, this baseball economy, $17.5 million for a dude who's performing at a near MVP level that's nothing, right? That's an easy investment for them. No such thing as a bad 1 year deal. And he's going to parlay that into something in the 9-figure range moving forward, right, to secure his services for the next 5 or 6 years or whatever it is after this. So, I mean, this is a win-win all the way around for everybody. But it will be a little bit weird depending on what happens here in the next week with where he ends up and how, for the Cubs as a team, and then the fans and everything else.
So give me your thoughts. All right, guys, we're joined by Evan Altman from CubsInsider.com talking Cubs baseball here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Give me your thoughts, man. I mean, what do you do? I mean, you're not too far back. You really weren't really expected to be buyers at the when the season started. You thought you're going to be good. Maybe you had a couple of former veterans, former World Series winners, MVP Gold Gloves. All right, maybe parlay them now. But now you got a legitimate shot at the division. What do you think the Cubs do?
Yeah, I mean, this is winning. Obviously, dropping 2 out of 3 to Boston wasn't any good, but then you win 2 out of 3 against the Nats. You take 3 out of 4 from the Cardinals. You're facing a minor league team for the next 2 games,
mm-hmm.
And then
I see what you did there, and I'd argue if I could, but I really can't at this point. I can't argue
that. I mean, really, with what's going on there now, I say that, and I was on another show last night. I think they'll be lucky to leave the South Side with a split because I do feel like the Cubs tend to kind of play down in some of those situations. I know the Sox play up for these matchups. Both teams are always getting after it, but it always feels like no matter what, right? One team's really good, one team's really bad, and they end up splitting, or nobody's ever seeming to be dominant over the other, and in a 2-game series, right? But they're 3 games under 500. If they can win 2 games on the South Side and take 3 out of 4, again, from a Cardinals team that is reeling, that is looking to trade. Wilson Contreras is already reportedly on the trade block.
Yep.
7 or 8 months or whatever after they signed him to this big deal. I mean, they're looking to move dudes, and that could happen. So, if the Cubs manage to, I think this is a big stretch, but if they manage to go 5-1 in these next 6 games, they're over 500. They're probably going to be closer to that division lead. A lot of that depends, right? What do the Reds do? What do the Brewers do? If they both fall flat and the Cubs go on a little streak here, that's a different story. But I do think if you're still looking at a division that's 6.5 games out like they are now, they're still closer to the bottom than they are the top. They're 5.5 games out of the wild card. I think if they're below 500 and those numbers remain about the same, they split these next 2. I think they look to move some folks. But as I say that, I also think we're going to see, speaking of Contreras, right? Now we heard the stories about Dusty Baker didn't want Contreras based on the situation. He kind of scuttled the trade that was in place. But from that point, Jed Hoyer was not comfortable moving guys just to move them. We know he had a very high reserve price on these players and say, hey, if you're not going to meet the price, we're cool walking away from the table. And I think that's what you're going to see with Cody Bellinger. They're not just going to take a player for him.
No, you can't.
Just to say it's a trade, right? You say, hey, you're giving us a top 100 guy. You're giving us somebody who we need in the system who's going to impact our team, if not this year, then next year and beyond in a meaningful way. And if not, we are comfortable holding on to him for the rest of the season, hoping we can go on a run and get hot. We'll give him a qualifying offer and take the compensatory draft pick, which is really nice at number 69 for them for next year, I believe is where it falls in. So I think that's where it goes, right? They're not committed to anything right now, nor should they be. And I think that's the position you've got to be in. You can't sit there and say, we're going to sell, which the Cardinals have done. They've said they're going to move dudes. You remove a little bit of leverage there. So, again, I think it's a fluid situation. We're not going to know until August 1st.
My guy, Jameson Taillon, has started to come around a little bit. He was one of the wild cards. He was one of the big free agent signings in the offseason. They were hoping he would come in and pitch at the level that they expected. He didn't really live up to that. He's starting to turn that around a little bit. How huge is that with his turning it around, in addition to the professor turning it around? I mean, coming back in as strong as it may be stronger than some people anticipated, with Marcus Stroman just being what lights out at the top. Talk to me about Jameson Taillon and his, I don't know, maybe resurgence right about now, right before the break.
Yeah, I mean, that was huge. It coincides a little bit with Drew Smyly kind of falling off, right? So Smyly started out high. And I mean, I shouldn't really say that because Smyly's been on a downward trend for really a couple months now. It's been pretty rough since late May. But it really does solidify. If you're looking at 4 solid rotation options, obviously you'd rather have 5, clearly. But he went in and destroyed New York. Gave up a couple runs early in his start after that, but then settled down and held it. We saw him pitch a really good one this last time out, and he started to figure some things out. I think a lot of that, the Cubs got him. They tweaked his repertoire a little bit, wanted to give him this sweeper, and I think that got in his head a little bit, right? And he's trying to force things. He was early, You want to make a new impression at the new job. I want to make people happy. I want to listen to what they're doing. And they say this will make me better. Cool. I'll work on that and try to do it. But I think that screwed him up a little bit. Again, with his repertoire, the way he pitches, the way he knows how to attack hitters, and he was just forcing it. And I think once he's settled in a little bit more now here in the second half, we're seeing a different pitcher. If he can slot in there at that 3-4 spot, probably more 4 if Hendricks is pitching at 3. Here's the thing. I've had a lot of Cubs fans say, why should they bother going for it? They'll just get beat in the playoffs. And my counter to that is this team could, if they make the playoffs, you telling me a number 1 and number 2 of Justin Steele and Marcus Stroman, whatever direction you want to put them, and then you've got Hendricks as your 3 pitching the way he is, there's not that many teams in the National League that can boast the top 3 starters. 2 of your starters, yeah, National League All-Stars, right? Come on. You've got a chance to win a series. It's going to be tough to win a 7-gamer. Totally understandable. They don't have enough power, but pitching wins in the playoffs. Yeah, it's a different animal when you get to the postseason than it is the regular season, right? So I look at it and say, hey, you've got as good a shot as just about anybody if you just get there. That's what we saw with the Nationals a few years ago. It's what we saw with the Braves in 21, right? This is the way these things work. So if I'm
what it reminds me of, Evan?
Yeah.
Reminds me of the Miami Heat, this team. Like, don't get them in, how they lost the first play-in game, they beat my Bulls, and damn, they went on a run. If this Cubs team gets in there, damn, they can go on a run. Because you can't pitch around Bellinger every time. Right. You can't pitch around them. I mean, unless you want to give them the Barry Bonds treatment, believe me, Cub fans some will be happy, some will be mad. They might even walk in with the bases loaded like Barry Bonds. But hey, I'd rather do that than, pitch to him and have that dude hit a granny. So there's a chance. They got some guy that not only him, but Swanson. I mean, they got a shot, dude. This is a dangerous team that no one's going to want to face in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's exactly it, right? That's what it comes down to. Now, the flip side of that, obviously, we know pitching wins championships, but you can also look at it and say, teams that out-homer their opponents win in the playoffs as well. And the Cubs are lacking power. Jed Hoyer's talked about that. He mentioned it again recently, but he also talked about that in the winter, and they haven't done anything to meaningfully address it because, hey, Bellinger's been great, but you're talking about your center fielder, right? The trouble spot for them right now, what are the 4 positions on the field that should be supplying your most power? First, third, left, right. Patrick Wisdom's got a ton of thump, but, he's not really an everyday guy the way they're doing that. But Ian Happ and Seiya Suzuki haven't really come through with as much power as they want. The Cubs have a gaping hole at first base, and they're not getting enough production there. So that's the other thing. But again, you can upgrade that. You can make a move at the deadline. Yeah. It doesn't need to be huge, but you upgrade that lineup a little bit. You get a little more consistency there, and then you can help ride those pitchers and get enough pop so that you can drive one out in those games that really matter. So, I'm not saying they will go out and do that. Like I said before, I don't know if we'll know that for another week yet, but we're not talking about a team that needs to go get 4 superstars to suddenly make this work. It's not a big effort. It's just a matter of, are they willing to do that? Because I'm also a firm believer in the fact that you can make your team better without having to do these major upgrades. And I think it's really a good thing to make these incremental. We don't want to go rebuild. And then what happens is in 24, you have to win now. You can't do a 4th year of this. If you put yourself in a position now at the deadline to upgrade the team a little bit heading into the winter, not only does it give you a better shot at the playoffs, it makes more sense in terms of your offseason strategy and how you go about building your roster. So I still want to say they're going to be buyers, but again, we'll see.
Yeah, we will. And you know what? I think you're right. I think another bat is going to be huge for this team. It's going to, especially if they, like you said, come out 5-1 in the next 6 games, which they have a really good shot at. And here's the thing. It's not just the talent that they have. It's the mentality that they have. That combined with the talent. Because Ian Happ, come playoff time, these guys not just about. Some of these guys are playoff tested. You got Bellinger, you got Swanson. You have a lot of guys who are playoff tested. Obviously, Belly's MVP, World Series champion, Okay, you have some of those on the team, but the way that they play for David Ross, I think it gets turned up a notch in the playoffs. And to me, when you get a team with a good mentality, a good mindset, there's really no wild cards, no one you're really worried about on the team. This team is all focused. They're all on the same page. In addition to, let's say, the talent, the mentality, it's a team that I think can really, really go deep. I don't know about World Series deep. No, let's not get crazy, but they can go in there and they can make some noise. Especially, you just mentioned those 3 pitchers, the starting 3 for the series. But then if you have those starting 3 pitchers for a series, you guys can come in and now the other 2 pitchers can come in relief. There's a lot of good stuff going for the Cubs right now, and the next week or so is gonna determine if they can really do what Cub fans think, take the division or at least get in the wild card and make a run in the playoffs. I think they can. I think, and I'm gonna have to put up with a lot of talk from my Cub fan friends. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same. I mentioned the Braves and the Nats, and we've seen, we could add other teams into that mix, but I think a big part of, we talk about just make the playoffs and you can go on a run, but in order to make the playoffs, you will have to have gone on a run as it is to take that division to make up those 6.5 games. So you're talking about a team that's going in hot to begin with, if they're able to do that, right? You talk about the Heat as well. All it takes in a lot of those is not all it takes is momentum, but you take that talent, you take the mentality, and then you add that momentum to it. So if they were to make the playoffs, they would be doing so coming off of a very hot stretch in August and September, right? They would, that's a necessity in order to even make it. And so I think that has a lot to do with it.
my guy Junior, he's like Mondo and his son. Mondo and I will remind you, they're Cub fans. They will definitely remind me. We got a thread on we have a 3-way thread, and he'll just randomly just text us, "Go Cubs, go." That's awesome. Hey, Evan, great stuff, Papa. I appreciate it. Do me a favor though, let everyone know where they can find you and your work online.
Absolutely. You can check out CubsInsider.com. If you want to, like us on Facebook, you can just check out Cubs Insider there. You can go on whatever Twitter's going to be called. It's changing to X or whatever it is. You can check out Real Cubs Insider there. Or just, again, go online, check out Cubs Insider, and we got a lot there for you.
Man, the Cubs are making baseball fun in Chicago because unfortunately my guys on the south side are pissing me off. I'm telling you, I have tickets for the crosstown. I have opportunity for tickets for the crosstown tomorrow because tomorrow's my birthday, and on Wednesday. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to give the Sox my money. I don't know if I want to give my money.
But yeah, that's not you want to go enjoy your birthday. Hey, they got some great beer and food selections there. You can have fun regardless of what's going on with the game. So,
See, the only problem, there'll be too many. If it was just a regular game, maybe, but there'll be too many Cub fans there.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
All in my face. I'm like, get out of here. Well, we'll see. Hey, man, we'll talk to you soon. I appreciate it, man. And if I don't talk to you before you head out to the land, enjoy that show, man. That's gonna be a dope ass show, bro.
Absolutely will. Thank you. And again, happy birthday, man.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
All right, take care.
All right, now. Guys, that's Evan Altman from CubsInsider.com. Man, this week's gonna tell. This week is going to tell. You come out. He said if they come out with the next 2 series, they'll probably be buyers. If not, then they'll start moving people. This is, I don't know. Does Jed want to be a buyer? Do you want to be a buyer if you know you're not going to win a World Series? If you know you're not a serious contender for the World Series? Do you want to be a buyer? Or do you want to start replenishing or getting people back because you know you're going to lose Bellinger? Or put it this way, he's not going to pick up that option. Okay? I think that was a great move by Boris and Cody Bellinger. I think that was a great move. I'll do that. Having the 1 year and then a player option. I think that's great because if he didn't do well, guess what? He's going to take the option and stay and try and rebuild himself again. Great move on their part. Great move, and you know what? It just paid off. But we'll see. Cub fans, you got a lot to be excited about. Unlike me, when it comes to baseball. So I'm going to focus on the real team in Chicago, and that's the Chicago Bears. And up next, my guy, Glenn Morgan from NBC Sports Chicago. He's going to join us, and we're going to talk some Bears. They report tomorrow. Mañana. I'm fired up, baby. So don't go anywhere, guys. Glenn Morgan from NBC Sports Chicago up next here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Off the fake. Fields against the grain. Finds Jesse James. Field. With time. Delivers down the field. Fake one way. Fields stumbling. Trying to cut it back. Justin Fields making magic happen. There goes Fields. Touchdown.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms. On Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel, you can find us at Sports Zone Chicago. And on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Everybody in a work zone is someone's somebody.
This is my mom. She works for KDOT.
This is my dad.
This is my mom.
This is my daddy.
This is my sister.
This is my daddy.
This is my son, Scott. He was killed while working in a highway work zone. When you drive through a work zone, drive like a life depends on it. Because it does.
Order up. Thank you. When I want to give up, I try to focus on getting to the next minute, then the next hour, and the next day.
It might not seem like it right now, but there are people out there like me who want to listen and support you for the long haul.
And I found someone to talk to, someone who listened.
You are not alone.
Hey, this is Dr. J, and I listen to Shawn and Maya in the morning.
Linebacker Morrow goes out there to play him.
Cousins under pressure, and the Bears finally get to the Viking quarterback as Justin Jones has his second sack in a Chicago timeouts. They'll get the ball to start the second half. This is a huge drive for Justin Fields. Taking a shot for Darnell Mooney. What a catch! Absolutely incredible from Darnell Mooney. A one-handed 39-yard grab.
Just make sure it stays in there as you make contact with the ground. I mean, you want to talk about full extension.
Here's Montgomery speeding ahead, spinning in for the touchdown. Welcome back to David Montgomery. He gets the Bears a huge score late in the first half.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of Fox. Those are the Bears, baby. Our Bears. And you know what? I am fired up because they report tomorrow. We will not have to have one more show without talking about Chicago Bears, Bearless football. We won't have a show. There will not be another show till January, February, probably January, mid to late January. The Bears won't be in play. I'm fired up. I'm super fired up. My next guest, I'm excited to see. Oh, here we go. Excited to talk to him. I'm telling you, I'm like a kid in Christmas because football is life for me. All right. Football has been, if you know me, if you watch the show, you know how important football has been to me in my life, from playing, having phenomenal coaches in my life to kind of give me and direct me into being a better person, a better man, and a better football player. Than me coaching. You know how much I love football. You know how much I love the Bears. So I'm fired up. My next guest, we're going to get fired up together. I know, because he's going to say some shit, and I'm going to get hair on my arms going to stand up. I'm going to get ready to run through a brick wall. My playing days have been over. My next guest, you can catch him on NBC Sports Chicago. He's one of the hosts of Football Night in Chicago. You can find him on Twitter at True Glenn Morgan. Guys, just welcome back to Shawn and Maya. Good morning. Glenn, what's up, Baba? Good morning.
Hey, what's going on, man? How you feel?
I feel phenomenal. Phenomenal. Great weekend. Great workout today. I'm definitely going to take a nap after the show.
Yeah, sorry for the picture here. I'm having some technical difficulties today, so my bad on that.
It's all right. How excited are you? I'm fired up. As a fan, yeah. I'm fired up. As a guy who talks and covers, the Bears, I'm fired up. How fired up are you? Because now it's not speculation. Now we we see them. Now they're there. I mean, unless you're Chase Claypool, but that's another story.
Right.
But other than that, how excited are you about tomorrow? Because as I said, this is the last time that we won't be talking. We're going to talk about the Bears without them in action. They are in action from now until, knock on wood,
right?
Mid-January. Because I don't think they're going to the Super Bowl, but mid-January.
Man, up until you tweeted me or texted me yesterday and said Claypool wasn't in because it was on the PUP list, I was more excited. Now I'm still excited, but I'm a little reserved. It's like, man, it's like reality. All those things we talked about or we mentioned before. Yeah, it's great. We've got a lot of new players. We're going in an upward direction. We're excited about not only the rookies, but the free agents we got. But everything is happening before it happens. We're excited about anything before it actually starts. And then reality starts to set in and you start to realize we're still a work in progress. And not having Claypool, it's not the end of the world. But what it does is it puts a little bit more pressure on everybody else that's there. Now, it also gives them an opportunity to step up. You get Tyler Scott gets an opportunity to step up. He can become that third receiver. Velus Jones can start proving his worth as well.
He better.
He better. And I think he will. I think he has. He's admitted he's a lot more comfortable. He knows where to line up in the offense now. So he's getting there. Not too long ago, he was beating my guy Tyreek Stevenson deep. Now, Justin didn't hook up with him, but that was a good sign, to see that he was getting deep. He's making more catches. He's more comfortable in his own skin, and I think that's important. Confidence is everything when it comes to professional sports, in my opinion. It really is.
In life.
no doubt in life. But sometimes, you can fake the funk sometimes, but in pro sports, when you lose that confidence, it shows its ugly head. Just think back to Steve Sachs for the White Sox when he couldn't throw from second base to first base, or Chuck Knobloch. He couldn't throw from second base to first base. It's like, how is that even possible? Confidence, once it gets in your head, it's tough, and you could become your own worst enemy. So I don't see Velus being in that situation like he kind of was last year a little bit. So yeah, it gives everybody an opportunity. Equinemius St. Brown, this really gives him a big chance because him and Dante Pettis are kind of on the outs looking in a little bit. But that's where I get a little concerned, because when you look back last year, I think Equinemius was only catching about 55% of the passes thrown to him. And Dante was around 43% of the passes that were thrown to him he was catching. And that's concerning. And we saw that last year. A lot of times Justin's, when he got open and was able to deliver the pass, these guys were dropping the balls, crunch time, or just not making plays on the ball, or not unfurling themselves from the coverage to get open. So Claypool not being there makes that wide receiver room look a little more questionable in the sense that we don't really know outside of DJ Moore how these guys are really going to perform. Tyler's a rookie. Velus is coming off of an uninspired first year, and Equanimeous and Dante, this may be the second to last team in the NFL if it doesn't work here. So now all of a sudden we look at the tight ends. It's like, okay, Cole Kmet, Tunyon, we're going to need you guys to step up. Running backs, you guys get your hands ready because the ball's going to be coming your way. So am I excited? Of course. It's right before football begins. Am I a little concerned because of the PUP list situation? Potentially. And that's no guarantee that if he wasn't on the PUP list, that Claypool was going to be that guy we need him to be anyway. It's just now it puts a little bit more of a question. So yeah, I guess that's my long answer to your short question.
I'm excited too. I'm not happy, and I'm keeping an eye on it. I'm watching you, Claypool. I'm watching you, all right, because I know he was in London doing some modeling stuff, or Paris doing some modeling stuff, and then he was in Paris or London with the NFL. All right, with the NFL, cool. I mean, again, I'm never one to say, hey, don't get your money. I'm really not.
Right.
All right, go get it. Football is finite, and you need other avenues of revenue. And hey, I feel you, Papa. I ain't mad at you. When you're neglecting your main chick, and that's football, that's what got you the modeling stuff. That's what got you famous. That's what got you, in those circles.
Yeah.
I was very unhappy with, the first couple of workouts. I didn't see Chase Claypool there. It was DJ Moore. It was Darnell Mooney. It was Cole Kmet. Tanya, those guys were there, but Chase Claypool wasn't, and I was a little annoyed with that. Like, look,
right,
okay, Yves Saint Laurent's great and everything, but Justin Fields is a little better. He's a little more important. And then now he comes this. So they said it was just soft tissue. Okay, he has till week 1 to play. Because if he has to miss, if he's on a PUP list week 1, then he's got to miss the first 6 weeks. I don't think it'll come to that. Do you think they're being just cautious? It said he got hurt they were down in Miami South Florida with Justin, and he was a little sore. Do you think it's going to be it's a lot to do about nothing, or do you think it's something worse and they're just kind of trying to suppress it?
It's an enigma. In my opinion, which is what you asked. Initially, I thought it was just being cautious. It was about 3 weeks since he's on the PUP list. So, what does that exactly mean? Is it plantar fasciitis? Is it a heel situation? Is it hamstring? Is it, what is it? And the fact that they're not saying exactly what it is makes me wonder. Because I mean, like. There's no game, so it's not like you're going to fool anybody. It's not like him being there or not being there is going to change anybody's game plan. So why can't you just say specifically what the soft tissue is? And I know, medical, if you ask me for my medical, your medical, it's none of your business, but this is professional football. I mean, it's
there's gambling going on, damn it. I got who I got to bet on. I need to know.
Right. And football's always pretty much been that sport that's been really specific about it. Hockey, you'll get lower body, upper body. But football has always been pretty specific. And the fact that it's just, you're saying soft tissue, is it soft tissue in his feet, his legs, his arms? Is it a brain thing? I mean, it's soft tissue up there too. So what does that mean? So, being on the PUP list, not a big deal right now. You look back last year, you had a guy like Marcus Peters on the Ravens and Ronnie Stanley starting tackle, Peters starting cornerback for the Ravens on the PUP list. Jalen Ramsey for the Rams was on the PUP list last year. Shaq Leonard was on the PUP list, and he didn't, he was off and on last year. So again, it doesn't necessarily mean anything, especially right now, right before you still got a 90-man plus roster, not a big deal. I believe when it gets down to 80, they have to decide whether or not they want to put you on the reserve PUP list. And if you're on the reserve PUP list, when it gets down to 80, it doesn't count against your roster at all. So you can have like 6 guys on the PUP list and have 86 guys on your team, but only 80 guys are actually showing on the roster, and the 6 other guys are on the PUP list. Doesn't count against your roster. Now, when it gets down to 53, that's when we need, as fans, to become a little bit more concerned, because as you mentioned, if it gets down to 53 and they put him on the reserve PUP list, I'm not sure if they changed it, but I believe it's 4. He definitely set out 4 games. It may be up to 6, but I think he has to set out at least 4 games, and then after he's taken off the PUP list, he has, I believe, 21 days or 3 weeks, basically 21 days, to get on that 53-man roster. And if he doesn't at that point, then he's on a PUP list for the entire rest of the season. So I guess all that to say, mid-August, by the second game of preseason, if we're not hearing news that he's going to be on the field soon, then it becomes concerning, more so for Claypool, because the big issue last year when he got here last year was getting acclimated, not just to the system, but also to his quarterback.
Right.
And we're still not seeing that, so that puts him behind the 8 ball. That puts the team in a situation. Because look, man, when you go out there, if you're starting him, 6'5", 6'4", however, tall he is, and you've got DJ's decent size, Equinemius, good size, you've got your blocking, your tight ends. I'm not telling you it's not a big blocker, but you got some bodies out there. You got some big bodies out there. You can help your running game downfield blocking is what I'm getting at. Claypool makes a big difference. He's a big, strong, athletic young man. It's a lot different having Darnell Mooney on the outside blocking for you downfield than it is Claypool.
Yeah.
Tyler Scott, he's biting you at the kneecaps and maybe
he ain't pancaking nobody.
He ain't pancaking nobody. No. He's not even doing like a little soft tissue roll on anybody, nothing like that. Yeah. So no, he's not even flatbread. He's not even doing that. So yeah, that's where it gets to be a bit, and then here's the other thing, man. And I was thinking about it last night, when you talked about coming on today, I'm like, okay, wide receiver room. And then we look at our edge rushing room, and I know it's still early. I know he's just in his second draft, as our general manager. Starts to come into question his evaluation of wide receivers and edge rushers. Can he get those guys? Is he able to target those individuals and get them here? We traded a 2nd round pick to get Claypool.
Joey Porter Jr.
Yeah,
well, turned out to be. That's what it turned out to be.
Whether it was him or whether it could have been a wide receiver like Rashee Rice, that we could have got that went to Kansas City, or anybody else, that we might think of that could be a receiver that we might be able to utilize this year, or any other position, an edge rusher that we might have gotten in the 2nd round. You know what I'm saying? There definitely were some available. So yeah. And then you look at the edge rushers we have. I mean, no one to speak of at this point, journeyman at best, and, wait and see what happens. So
if he signs Yannick Ngakoue, how much more relieved or comfortable will you feel? Or another one of those guys out there? Because a lot of times veterans like, the hell with this OTA stuff. I don't feel like doing it. I'm training on my own. I'll sign in camp. He does that. How much more comfortable will you feel? Even if it's just one, not two, just one.
Well, I think I'll feel better going forward for this season into next season.
Okay.
I think Yannick, this will be his 16th. Whatever team he signs for next will be his 16th. And I don't think people wonder, does that mean he's like a locker room, liability? I'm like, no, I just think he's a person who's out there for the money. I don't think he's worried about Super Bowls. I think he's worried about his life after football, which is cool. I'm not mad at you. Make your money when you can, like you said earlier. And if a Super Bowl happens along the way, so be it. If not, I'm sure he can live with that. And hey, look, it's a business. Every time we hear it's a business until the fans want you to win a Super Bowl for them, until the organization wants you to win a Super Bowl. Then we're a big family. Oh, it's all family. It's family. And then family turns around the next season. It's like, yeah, can you take this 33% pay cut? Like, oh, what you, the government all of a sudden? 33%?
We need you to restructure your deal.
Yeah, we need to restructure your deal. Like, I thought we was family. Yeah, we're family. Can I get that family discount? Oh, no. So I don't look at Yannick as anything other than a player who's mercenary, seems to be a harsh word, but a person who's out there, free agent, who's trying to maximize his opportunities. And that's very human. I hold nothing against him. That being said, as a Bears fan, and it's funny how we spend everyone's money,
easy to spend someone else's money. Easy.
Right. Easy. And
that's the women in our lives.
No comment. No comment. I'm a married man with 4 daughters. No comment. No comment at all. But I that being said, I try to be a little frugal to some degree, or objectively, conservative with my organization. Our
organization. We're all Bear fans.
We're all Bear fans. Right. I look at a guy like Justin Houston, and I think Justin makes more sense to me than Yannick does for a lot of reasons. Justin's a better run defender, not the best, but a better run defender. Justin's up there in age. He's 34. I believe he'll be 35 as the season ensues. But you look at what he's done the last several years with the Ravens. And last year, he had less snaps last year. I want to say he had less than 400 snaps last year, but he actually got 9 sacks. I think he led the team in sacks last year. And so when you have an older player like that, being judicious with how you utilize them makes a big difference, where you can maximize, his efforts and his effectiveness when you put him in there in the right manner. And Justin, a couple of reasons why I like him, as I alluded to earlier, is that he played underneath Eberflus, and he had 2 good real seasons under Eberflus as well. So he's familiar with the system. So him having to get here right away is not a big deal. He can assimilate into the schemes without much of a hiccup at all. He's a veteran. He knows what to do. He knows how to protect his body. He knows how to get himself prepared for football season. Not only that, but he's in that stage of his career where him being a mentor may not be an affront to him, as a professional athlete. Whereas Yannick is like 28, 29. He's like, yeah, I'm out here, young guy, kind of figure it out. I'll help you a little bit, but I'm not gonna really help you because you're my competition, down the stretch, because you're younger and I'm still trying to get paid. Whereas Justin's like, yeah, my better days are behind me, and I'm being realistic about it. The other thing, you look at the market. I want to say, I believe Yannick was making around 13 mil last year. I think, his market value is somewhere around 14.8 or so mil a year. Whereas Justin, his market value is like about a third of that. It's going to be around 5 to 6 million, and that's a lot more affordable. And you can sign them for 2 years, draft your rookie edge rusher or edge rushers next year, and have them learn under Justin, have that 1 year of apprenticeship, so to speak, under Justin. And then,
transition,
and then going forward, we're a deeper, better, more fortified, intelligent football team in terms of how we do what we do on the football field. So that's why I think I appreciate, but the idea of Justin Houston over Yannick appeals to me. I kind of like Dwayne Smoot a little bit too, but he just re-signed with Jacksonville, so kudos to him.
Okay,
right. But I'm more upside with Justin. But again, it brings the question, man. With polls, if there's any question we're going to have right now, is your ability to assess wide receiver talent, and then your edge rushing talent.
Guys, we're joined by Glenn Morgan from NBC Sports Chicago, talking Chicago Bears football here. I'm Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. I'm a little concerned. I'm waiting to see how things play out. Once second week of training camp hits and we don't have, then I'll probably be a little more concerned. I'd like to see what the guys in the team are going to do. All right, we're talking the Travis Gibsons. I know one got my Mr. Ciordi. He was, he's like, Gibson's about to break out. About a breakout. I think he's going to uptake because he had a bad year last year. Who was the guy they drafted last year?
Robinson.
Robinson. All right, I think he's going to have a much better year. Again, not putting him in double-digit sacks. I think we might get that by committee. Sure. I think they're going to be better, and I think what's going to help is the interior. All right, that's going to help a lot for me, just because of you can't step up. All right, you can't step up and kind of replace the edge rushers. Where the pressure's coming from. You can't step up. That's a big problem. Quarterbacks can handle pressure from the sides. They love they don't mind pressure from the sides at all. They hate pressure in their face. And I think with what they did, I think that'll help this pass rush. But I like you. I would like one guy. At least one guy, and maybe someone steps up. All right, maybe someone steps up. We don't know. He could be on the roster, until we can, draft next year. We'll see. I don't know. I still gotta I'm still looking at Terrell Lewis, my kid from the kid from Alabama. If he's healthy, he's a dude. He's a dude we need to watch. He's a dude that I'm gonna watch, and we'll see. We'll see.
I'm messing with you. I agree with you. I think he's got a little something, a little tight in the hips, but. Hey, with better technique and a better pass rush up the middle, like you just said, sometimes you can funnel guys into sacks. You can funnel guys your way. And that might be where we go. And as much as we talk about sacks, I'm not as concerned about that as I am about pressure. I think pressure makes a bigger difference. And if you can get those pressures, the Bears had around 86 or just underneath 90 pressures last year, which is abysmal. If you can get somewhere within the 115 to 120, 125 range with pressure. And again, like I said before, I think on your show, the Bears had 14 interceptions last year. And that was just with 86 pressures. And Eberflus, when he was a DC with the Colts, he was getting, I think his lowest season as a DC was 14 interceptions. His last year they had 19. So we have a much better, much more athletic secondary than most people realize. And it got even more athletic with the inclusion of Smith from Minnesota as a rookie, and also our second round back Stevenson from Miami as a rookie. And those guys, they all have the ability to make the play on the ball. And like you just said, getting that pressure up the middle. When you got long arms like Javon Dexter, you got that quickness from Zach Pickens. You get up the middle. Now, all of a sudden, you muddy the waters a little bit. And those passing lanes aren't really there like they used to be.
Aren't as clean. Mm-hmm.
Right. And then you throw the ball, and then you talk about the linebackers we got, that second unit we have of our defense, where these guys are great in coverage. They can play sideline to sideline, and Terrell can drop back, a la Urlacher to some degree. He's got that kind of athleticism, and he also has extremely long arms. So you're talking about guys who can get their arms up, deflections on the ball, and then you got ball hawks out there that can pick it and take it and go somewhere with it. So yeah, that's where the Bear, and again, that's how that defense is kind of structured, to be quite honest. If we harken back to Lovie Smith, and this is very similar to that system that Lovie Smith ran. Lovie Smith every year preached turnovers. You don't worry about sacks. You heard turnovers, because turnovers, we get the ball, they don't have the ball, field position, all those things work in our favor. And that's what this offense is going to need, particularly if we're going to be struggling at the receiver position, like it potentially could possibly happen. But again, man, you shorten the field, you give your offense opportunity to score more than the other team. Those simple things, I say simple in terms of, it's easier said than done, obviously, but it's not complicated. Football hasn't changed in 100 years that it's been there.
Nope.
That stuff is still prevalent, still what you need to succeed. And I think that's where we'll have our success, going forward for this season, definitely.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I think that gives them the corners or DBs a lot more confidence. Well, Daquan Briscoe's already got over his rookie season, so his confidence is going to be better. Same system. All right, a lot more comfortable. Eddie Jackson was looking to have a great season last year before he got hurt, and he already came out and said, "I'm going to have the best season in the history of safeties, in the history of the NFL." I'm like, I was like, damn, okay, Eddie. All right, talk that talk. It's a little crazy. It's crazy until somebody does it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So this is that pressure in your face. Can you follow through? Can a quarterback follow through? He may not be able to. He may have to short arm it a little bit, not follow through, and that's all you need. All right, that's all you need as a DB, and especially if you got a guy who likes to gamble like Eddie Jackson, that might be all he needs, and we'll see. And I'm looking forward to that. I love the confidence. I think it might be a little bit unrealistic, but again, it's impossible till somebody does it. It's impossible till somebody does it. I think he's bad enough to think that he can do it.
Look, man, I don't. Right, I hear you, and it's like, if you don't believe it, who will? But here's the thing, bro. You look at the schedule again. Look at the quarterbacks we're facing. You look at the AFC West. That's as tough as it gets. And that's there's 2, maybe 3 if Russell's back on his game. Obviously, Mahomes is a whole different element, and Justin Herbert is right behind him, in terms of being that type of dude at quarterback. But are you worried about Garoppolo if he's even playing by the time we play him? No. Nope. Desmond Ridder for the Atlanta Falcons. We don't play him to the end of the year. Maybe he's less of a rookie by that point in time, but he's still a young player. You look at Sam Howell, dude has played like 2 games for Washington in 2 professional games, and we get them early, in the season. So he's going to be mistake prone. And then you look at our own division, Goff, he's been known to give it up. Kirk Cousins. Hey, if you watch quarterback on NFL on Netflix, you watch Kirk Cousins on that quarterback special. Yeah. He's throwing the ball, going, "Oh no,
no, damn it, no, no, move away."
Right. I thought that was him.
He's like Carlton Fisk.
right. He's like, I thought that was my receiver who ran a curl. No, that was a defensive back who ran a route better than your receiver, apparently.
And I thought my receiver changed jerseys for a second. Get out of here.
Right. All right. Went from a white jersey to a completely different dark colored jersey. So obviously he gives it up. And then, Jordan Love, I mean, I wish him all the success personally, but not when he plays us. But again, unproven, a guy who's going to be, getting acclimated in the NFL, so he's going to be prone to giving up also. And then you got Deshaun Watson, might be the only other quarterback of note, but, we've beaten a Deshaun Watson-led team before when he was with the Houston Texans. So, I mean, granted, that was a bad Houston team, but I'm just saying. But I'm just saying, it's like, Deshaun Watson, Mahomes, and Herbert are the only quarterbacks of note, really. And then to a lesser degree, you're talking Kirk Cousins and Jared Goff. I mean, nobody there is scaring you. So, yeah, man, we could definitely, and a lot of those quarterbacks, you know, they're not the most mobile cats either. Garoppolo ain't as mobile as it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
and I think that's where the pressure up front comes in. I think that's where you know that's where it's really bothersome to quarterbacks, especially if you're not mobile. Because hey, remember Tom Brady? He's the least mobile quarterback I could think of, and he was able to step up and just slide over to the right wherever the pressure was coming from, right or left. You step up, go to the left. Step up, go to the right. But if you can't step up, that's a big problem. And I think you're right as far as pressure. And we should really be more concerned about pressure that turns into an interception, a deflection, or an incomplete pass.
Yeah,
right. Those are just as good because with that, now you turn it over on downs. I think this team is going to be really good up front. I'm looking forward to it. And I know I talk shit about the Lions, but I am concerned about the Lions, dude, because if we follow logic and we say, okay, well, Justin Fields is in the second year of the system. He got new weapons. He got this and this and this. Okay. Well, then guess what? Jared Goff's in the second year of the same system. He's got more receivers coming back. A third
year.
Is it third already? Damn. All right. So now he's got receivers coming back. Okay. You just saw what they just did at the end of the season last year. Yeah. So Detroit is a scary team. And I it's tough for me to say that because I think Detroit's going to Detroit themselves. But
right. I mean, it's possible. Well, here's the thing. Detroit's already Detroiting itself. I mean,
yeah, how many guys are suspended?
Right.
Season.
Right. You know, they spent a first-round pick on a receiver from Alabama, you know, last year's draft.
Yeah.
He couldn't get on the field last year till late in the season. And now he can't get on the field because he's suspended. And you look, they got rid of Swift and Jamal Williams. And Williams kind of for 17 touchdowns. And Swift was a versatile back. I know he had his injury issues, but he was still more explosive than David Montgomery. You know, we talked about it before. Montgomery is not an explosive back.
No.
He's not the guy that's moving the pile. And he's not 6'1", 230 moving the pile, getting you touchdowns in the red zone. He's just not that. He hasn't been that kind of guy in his career. And yeah, the line's a little bit better, so that should help. But he's still not explosive. They can't help that. And Jamar Gibbs is a rookie, you know, so how effective is he going to be? And Jared Goff, for him to be effective, he needs to have a running game. So he's a play action quarterback. So if that running game's not working, is my point. That running game struggles is not working. Then that offense that was prolific and went 8-2 down the stretch last year, they're going to struggle. And Detroit may very well end up Detroiting themselves.
I'm hoping and praying, man. I really am, because I just don't. I hate for them, but also it's their mentality too. That's the thing that I think that concerns me the most with that team. Everybody's all in. Everybody's all in. You know, how many times were people laughing at Dan Campbell when he talked about biting kneecaps and all this other stuff? Like, this guy's a nuts. Yeah, then they go 10-2. You're like, oh shit. Okay. They've been biting a lot of kneecaps apparently. So his culture, and that's the main reason I love about our Bears is the culture that Eberflus and even to an extent Ryan Poles. I said Pace. Pardon me. 10 lashes for that one. That's horrible. Ryan Poles.
Stop cursing at us like that, man. Swear.
that he instilled, and the culture is so important. And so Detroit's going to be a couple of tough games against those guys this year. Minnesota, your thoughts on that? We'll talk a little bit about the division since you started with Detroit.
Sure.
You know, I know you got Justin Jefferson. He's a stud.
Yes.
Right? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But they let go of Dalvin Cook. You know, they have to worry about when it comes to Minnesota. I mean, you can bracket Justin Jefferson. All right.
No, not really. You got Hawkinson. You can bracket him a little bit.
Okay.
Hawkinson's a problem. He's a problem.
The tight end?
He's a problem. He's a serious dude. If you talk about tight ends, he's in that top 5 of tight ends, dude. Kelsey, Kittle, Hawkinson is that 5th guy before you get out of the top 5. He's in that top 5.
The one thing that I like that we have, and I hope he doesn't get suspended, but I like Mr. Jaquan Brisker to introduce himself to a Hawkinson or a Justin Jefferson. You know, Jefferson will be more on the outside, like hash marks and numbers out. So Brisker might not have as much chance to introduce himself. All right. But Hawkinson, he'll be over the middle, and Brisker can say, hey, allow me to reintroduce myself. Okay. I think that could be a fear, could be a big factor. Cause I want to see him dislocate receiver from ball, and he's got to do it a smart way with the shoulder. Obviously can't lead with the head, but I think that physical type of defense is gonna deter some tight ends. I think it will, especially let's not forget the middle linebacker as well. You got Tremaine Edmonds, the guy who can run. He's 6'5" with a huge wingspan.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it before, how small those windows are getting now. And if you kind of overthrow them and you get a free shot, I say take it. I wouldn't mind getting a 15-yard penalty just to take someone out. I'm like this, just so everyone else around, all 31 other teams know, don't play around the middle. Do not play around the middle. I think that'll set a tone. I'm okay with a 2-game suspension. Bump it.
Well, this is where I play devil's advocate, and I use your own words against you. Minnesota, this would be their second year in this system with their head coach as well, and they were pretty good last year with it. But yeah, I get your point. It's the Bears have some things that can potentially, diffuse what Minnesota's done, and not having Cook. And you bringing that up is essential to me and to Minnesota's offense, because as Cook went so much better, that offense was able to thrive.
And that's what I was going to throw against you for throwing against my words against me.
Exactly. Now Madison, I like Alexander Madison, but can he step into the lead role? He's been that backup, and they picked up another running back out of UAB who should be pretty decent. McBride, good big back, but again, they're losing some explosiveness. Cook was a different type of back. There's a reason why they were paying him money. Right. So that's an issue. The problem I see with Minnesota is it was the same problem they had last year, and it's defense. Now, their pass rush, if they keep Danielle Hunter, should still be okay. And they've got brother from Texas, San Antonio. I can remember that, but I can't remember his name right now. The other edge rusher. He was a free agent last year, I think. Or he came as a free agent this year. Anyway, they have 2 edge rushers, is my point. The middle part of the defense is okay. Not setting the world on fire. The linebacking crew is a bit of an issue, getting a little long in the tooth. But that secondary, that's especially at the border, the cornerbacks, that's where they can get got. And I think for Minnesota to be effective, they almost have to do what Kansas City did, or like what the Colts used to do back in the day, and that's get that lead. Get that lead so then your pass rushers can be more effective. Because if they don't have the lead, you can run on them. And if you can run on them, you can play action, and those cornerbacks are going to be susceptible. So like when the Bears play them, Bears keep that game close, I feel better about the Bears down the stretch, because I feel better about Justin being able to make special plays more so than Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins has his moment. Kirk Cousins, to me, he's a faucet, man. He's hot or cold. He's on or off. When he's hot, he throws some darts. I mean, he throws some really nice passes. And when he's cold, it's like, dude, thank you for this gift. Thank you for that gift. Christmas keeps on giving. Yeah, Christmas early. So
we call him Mr. Herpes. Is that what we call him? I digress.
So
that will be stricken from the record.
Editor. So yeah, man. So Minnesota, they're not going to win 11 close games like they did last year. It's just not going to. That almost never ever happens in any level football, college or professional. So I expect them to be closer to 500 than they were last year. Just a matter of if we're better than them. But yeah, man, this division can be won by anybody. It really can. For the Bears to win it, a lot of things need to go right. Our depth is still an issue. Our chemistry is something that has to be developed. But we are ascending, so that's a good thing. And we're Chicago, we're not Detroit, so we're not going to Detroit it. Detroit can Detroit it. Detroit, there's a lot of pressure on them, and sometimes when it's easier being the hunter than being the hunter.
Yeah.
If I can be very cliche here, but it's a difference. It really is.
Huge difference.
Yeah, it's a huge difference. There's a reason why people need to respect. Now, I'm not a Patriots fan, but you got to respect what they did, because they would have hunted for so long.
Damn near 20 years, bro.
Damn
20 years.
You look at what the Chiefs are doing. The Chiefs haven't lost a division in 5 straight years. Ever since Mahomes has been there, he's won a division. And they've been 4 straight conference championships or 5 straight conference championships.
Yeah. So yeah, and I'm telling you, and just I know a couple of teams I played on, we were at the top, and everyone was gunning for us, man. And it's a different mentality, bro. It is a different mentality, and hats off to, like you said, to those guys who've done it. What about that team up north? All right, they just shipped off their Hall of Fame quarterback to the East Coast, Jordan Love. But here's the thing that worries me about them a little bit. They have a phenomenal run game.
Yep.
Okay. And how soon is Jordan Love and Christian Watson and Romeo Dobbs, are they going to get on the same page? Because if they get on the same page quick, fast, in a hurry, that's going to be another problem. That's going to be another Mickey-Ficky problem, because that run game in Green Bay is no joke. That run game is no freaking joke, and they can choke the life out of you just by 3, 4, 5 yards a pop, if not more, and one or two big runs. Yeah, this division, like I said, I still think the Bears have a good shot, but it's not going to be easy by any stretch. Talk to me about your thoughts on Green Bay.
Yeah, I've said it a couple times. I didn't, a few months ago, but lately, I think Green Bay is going to win the division.
Okay.
I think the key to success, more times than not, and I'm just going off a pattern, I'm going off of X amount of years. I'm not going to divulge my age right away, but I'm going off the X amount of years of being a professional observer of football, and consistency and continuity are the key elements to winning and having sustainable wins for your organization and in professional football. And of all the teams in this division right now, the Packers are the most fortified when it comes to consistency and continuity. Their continuity outside of losing Rodgers, which is a huge loss. I don't mean to minimize him being gone, but the point is the guy that's taken this place has been there for 3 years. The guy that's taken this place knows the system forward and backwards. The guy taking this place knows his teammates. The guy taking this place is in an organization that's done the exact same thing when Rodgers.
Is this like from the same thing that you said like 15 years ago, 16 years ago, sat behind 3 seasons?
Exactly.
Sat behind a Hall of Famer? Oh,
exactly.
Oh,
right. So I'm not saying Jordan Love is going to be those guys.
He better not be. That'll be 45 years, damn it. 45 years of this.
Well, even Aaron struggled his first year, taking over the reins. So there's that adjustment period to play in real speed. So we better get him now.
Let's go adjustment period.
Right. But here's the thing. We didn't have anybody to really counter that. We didn't have consistency and continuity at the quarterback position.
Yeah.
We didn't have it at the coaching position. We had Lovey. And think about that. When we were beating Green Bay a little more regularly, Lovey was our coach. What did we have? Consistent. Lovey wasn't a great offensive mind by any stretch of the means. His defenses weren't super complex, but that continuity, that consistency, everybody knew what they were doing. And through that, you're able to execute better and not be so caught up in your head and so on and so forth. You look at Minnesota, they've got some changes, man. They lost some significant veterans. Yes. So that continuity, it's gone to some degree, You look at Detroit, they're still trying to build consistency. The consistency isn't there. And the continuity.
I think it's here for them. I think it's there for Detroit. It's up top.
No doubt. But that consistency hasn't developed yet. It's not there. There's no evidence of them being a consistent team yet. So even empirically speaking, there's no consistency. There's nothing to show. There's no proof to show that they're a team that has been consistent yet. Green Bay's been consistent. They had an off year last year, but they've been consistent. And their continuity, not much has changed. The defense is pretty much the same guy. I mean, when you look at 22 returning starters, you look at 22 potential starters, I think they've got like 18 or 19 returning starters.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow. Yeah, that's the thing.
And you look at, as I said, you look at Detroit, the consistency in there and their continuity has been in fluctuation because guys are in and out. That whole running back crew is different now. That changes your dynamic, man, when your offense. Look, as much as the running backs have been devalued, and that's a subject for a different matter. I know we don't have enough time to go into that, but as much as they've been, and I know it's near and dear to your heart as a former running back, as much as they've been screwed over by the NFL and how the NFL's got its own, like, what's the word when they've got their own salary cap within their own salary cap, because you playing by positions. Like, what is that? No other professional organization, basketball, baseball, hockey, they don't pay you just by your position. They pay the best player on the team, regardless of what the position might be. Football does it differently. But anyway, I digress. You look at Green Bay, that whole running back situation is different now. It's going to take them time to figure out how to do what to do to make it do what it needs to do. So that's some continuity and consistency that they've got to figure out. So yeah, man. I mean, in the Bears, obviously our whole defense is pretty much new, and that's out for the secondary. And then Tyreek's probably going to start. I believe Tyreek Stevenson's going to start, but that's a new corner. That the linebacking crew is basically new, and the front four, it might be 2 guys, but it's in fluctuation. And offensive line has been reworked, and our wide receiver room, as we began this episode, that's in fluctuation right now. That's still unknown. The running back situation is probably the best, and our quarterback is still unproven in terms of being the quarterback that everyone hopes he eventually will turn into. So yeah, man. Look at Green Bay. I'm like, yeah, man. What did Green Bay not do this year? They did not draft a quarterback in the first round. They did not draft a quarterback in the second or the third round. They re-signed their guy. They extended, not re-signed, but they extended his contract. So that should let you know right then and there, like, okay, they know they know who they are. They know what to do. Minnesota knows who they are on offense. Defense is still an issue. Detroit, they think they know who they are. The Bears, we got a lot to figure out about who we are. So Green Bay, to me right now, looks like the team that's the most consistent team with less continuity issues going forward. So yeah, I picked them to win the division.
Wow. Very, very interesting. Okay. Well, look, I am fired up, man. I'm usually I wear a house music shirt on Monday, house music Monday. Today I'm like, no, bump that. Until I get my guy, I'm gonna have my guy create this logo, the Bears logo with some earphones on, and it'll say house head underneath. So I'll get on him to make that. Because he made a White Sox one, he made a Cubs one, and he needs to make a Bull one too, Chicago Bulls one too, and that'll be dope. But yeah, that's why I'm wearing this, because I'm fired up. I'm excited about tomorrow. I know they're just checking in and reporting to camp, but man, it is here. Football season is officially here. I mean, it already started. Some teams have already reported. The Jets have been out there. Did you see their new unis? They're going back to Broadway Joe's unis. They're going back to the white jammies. I was like, oh snap! I was like, okay.
That's fine. Yeah, I didn't see those, but yeah, that's cool. I mean, everyone's got the new white unis. Even Cleveland Browns have a uniform that's very similar to that, with the white helmet.
Did you hear about the Tennessee Titans? They're going back to this a couple times this year. The Houston Oilers. I love those colors. I was a big Houston Oilers fan. Yeah. I love obviously Earl Campbell growing up in my day. I loved him. Our day, I should say. I loved him. I think it's cool. Just to, we know it's a money gig and a money grab. They want us to go. They want Houston fans to go buy those Oilers. But I just think those unis are tight, and I love them. So
yeah, love your blue back in the day.
Yeah. Hey, well, listen, awesome stuff, man. I appreciate it, Glenn. Do me a big favor, though. Let everyone know where they can find you and your work online and on TV.
Oh yeah, man, most definitely. You can listen to me and my guys on Easy Smoking the GM podcast on any platform. And as far as on TV, catch me on Football Night in Chicago from time to time. And cross my fingers when I get on the Understutter podcast as well, NBC Sports Chicago. Hey, hit your boy up on YouTube. Type in GLYNN Morgan. I'm Googleable.
So, you're Googleable. Look at him. Googleable. And you gotta let me know. We gotta set up a date for your podcast. I know to get on your podcast, and we'll talk. We'll chop it up again, man. Just anytime I get a chance to talk football, dude, I love it.
Right now, summertime. We usually take a bit of a break, but like you said, football is right around the corner, baby. So
man, I'm fired up. I'm fired. I was at Taco Tamale Fest this weekend. A couple of my guys were DJing, house music DJs. They were jamming. Man, I had a blast. So, summertime shies. Football season is coming to an end. Festival season is coming to an end. We got about a month left. But hey, as it's winding down, festival season, football season's winding up. It's gearing up, and I like it. So, hey, great stuff, man. We will talk soon. Thanks a lot, Papa.
I appreciate you, Shawn. Holla at you, bro.
All right, good. Bye. Peace. Guy, that's Glenn Morgan from NBC Sports Chicago talking Bears football. Got me fired up. Ooh, Charlie. I can't wait. I want to be in and just shake their hand. Good stuff. Good year. Have a good year, boy. You're going to have a good year. You're going to have a good year. Just stand at the gate. Roll on your window. Hey, good year. Have a good year. Ejax, good year. Ejax. Fields, JF, QB1, good year. DJ Moore. You remember me? I was at your camp, remember? You remember me, don't you? Oh, man. Isaiah Ford, the wide receiver Band-Aid until Claypool comes off the pup. I'm still concerned with Claypool. I'm getting an eerie feeling about him. All right. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. We have some footage of him, catching balls, practicing. He was out there and saw the guys. Okay. All right, that's cool. There's just something about him. It's not concrete. I can't put my finger on it. I can't. It's one of those things, those instinctual things that has me nervous about Claypool. And trust me, I don't think our season's going down the drain if he doesn't play. I think it's, as Glenn talked about, it's a great chance for Velus Jones to step up. It's a great chance for Tyler Scott to get some time and contribute as a rookie. Okay. I think this would be the smart move, Cornelius. That would be the smart move. Mark Potash talked to Justin last night, and Justin said Claypool will be fine for camp. Okay. Yeah. So I asked Glenn, do you think it was just maybe a precautionary thing? All right. And it could be. It could be. But you know how we are. I mean, it's our Bears. You know, baseball divides us and football unites us. We're all Bear fans. We're all Bears fans. Okay. So everything Bears, especially with someone like that who's going to be so integral in the development of Justin Fields, it's going to be probably overhyped or over-exaggerated. All right? We're going to get too high on one thing, too low on another thing. It is frustrating. It's frustrating. But I think if we sit back and take a broader view, not saying we won't miss Claypool, because we would, but it gives other people an opportunity. And that's all you can ask for, is an opportunity. All right. There's an old football chant that we used to say before the games, like, "Dear Lord, the battles you go through in life, we ask for a chance that is fair. A chance, dear Lord, the battles you go through in life, we ask for a chance that is fair, a chance to earn our stripes, a chance to do or dare." All this is a chance. That's all you want. There's more to it, but you just want a chance. And I think Tyler Scott would be ecstatic for that. Velus Jones would be ecstatic for that. And don't get me wrong, I want Claypool there. I want Claypool to go ham. I want him to be a dominant number 2 receiver. Okay, but if he's not there, you know how football is. Football's like life. It keeps moving. It keeps moving. You ain't got time to sit and wait and complain and cry and bitch and moan like, "Oh, he's not here. Oh my God. Oh no." Next man up. Next man up. It provides opportunity. All right. And if you don't think it does, ask Drew Bledsoe. Ask Drew Bledsoe. Ask Tom Brady, Drew Bledsoe. How stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. All right. So we'll see. We'll see. But football season's here. I'm fired up about it. I know you guys are fired up about it. And man. Don't worry about it, dude. I'm looking forward to Justin Fields. There is an air of extreme confidence, and I don't think it's near conceit. There's an air of extreme confidence that I'm seeing and I'm feeling from this guy. All right. He's a leader. All right. He had guys, I know it was twisting guys' arms. Listen, you got to come to South Florida to work out. Sorry. You got to come to South Florida. Guys are kicking and screaming, getting on their private jets. I got to go to South Florida. Damn it. But the fact that he had people there, all right, DJ Moore, Chase Claypool, Darnell Mooney, Cole Kmet, okay, Tunyon. I'm not sure if Scott was there. I want to say he was, but I'd have to double check. That says a lot. That says a lot about the belief that this, for one, it says a lot about him as a young man, as a leader, not in football, as a leader, but also as the quarterback of this team. And it says a lot about the receivers and guys who were there that want to get better. Justin Fields is going to have a good year. Okay, the confidence that he's oozing, I've seen it before. I've seen it. I think Justin Fields has the confidence that is going to take this team into the playoffs and maybe a deep run into the playoffs. I think in a perfect world, their ceiling is the NFC Championship game. But I mean, hell, if you get there, anything can happen. But I think their ceiling is the NFC Championship game. All right? He's just so confident in his abilities. And why wouldn't he be? Why wouldn't he be? Look at the things he's done. Look at the passes he's thrown. Look at the completions. This guy has done it all every year. I mean, every level, from high school to college. Just hasn't been consistent here because he's usually had to run for his life. Watch Justin Fields this year. I know it's a silly statement, but an obvious statement. What I'm saying is just what there's a level. He has that look. To borrow a phrase from our rest in peace, one of the greatest, my favorite male artist, Prince. You got that look. Justin Fields has that look of a dude. He's got that Kobe mentality, that Mamba mentality, that Jordan mentality. But he's not talking a lot. He don't talk a lot. It's time to put up. Time for talking's over. I think it's going to be fun. And with this defense, yes, Brandon Schutz, good morning, Papa. How are you? I appreciate you tuning in. Nomad, thank you, Papa, for tuning in. Dude, you got to send me a reminder, bro, for Sundays. We have to say Monday, right? Yeah. God. Send me a reminder, bro, and I can hop on the broadcast, your show. I would love to do that. All right, don't forget, send me a reminder because I get busy. Last night I was just working on some other stuff. But yes, Brandon, tomorrow is my birthday. In addition to my birthday, it's also Armando's birthday as well. Yeah. I did have a good weekend. Real quick before we wrap this up. I love Chicago. I love my festivals. Love them. House music all night long. Say what? House music all night long. These jokers got to do some shit. They got to do something. Because I was at the Taco Tamale Fest. I was starving, which is probably why I didn't tell her to go fuck herself, the lady. I got 3 tacos, 3, and a quesadilla. For those of you who don't know what quesadilla is, it's 2 tortillas, and they put cheese in it, melted cheese in the middle, but I had them put chicken in there, okay? I didn't get anything to drink, no water, no pop. 3 tacos and a quesadilla was $33. $33, dude. I'm like, you know what? Next year, I'm going back to the Taco and Tamale Fest, and I'm going to eat before I get there. And it's just going to be a drink fest. Bump that. $33 for 3 tacos and a quesadilla. Like, how much were the tacos? Like $7? And a quesadilla, what, 12? And they didn't have the prices up there either, and that pissed me off. I should have went to the place that had the prices where tacos were only $5. But I digress. It's going to be fun this year. All right, we're going to talk about it on Wednesday. The Bears will have reported. Yeah, but where do you go? Do you go downtown? It's $30,000. I think $30. Yeah, it's going to be fun. All right, we'll be back Wednesday. Wednesday will be their first practice. They will just report tomorrow, and it's going to be one hell of a ride. I told you, enjoy it, and I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the notification on my phone to let you know that the Bears have signed a pass rusher. again, I think they have a lot of sneaky links in their pass rushing department this year. That's what I told Glenn. I think they're going to do it by committee. All right, if they don't sign, if they do sign a pass rush, I think they're going to do it by committee. And I think the biggest issue or the biggest thing that's going to help them is the improved interior lineman. That's going to be huge. All right, you can't step up. It's going to be a long day at the office if you can't step up as a quarterback. And you're going to have to let the ball go early. You're not going to be able to follow through, which will make that ball get there with not as much zip as you want. Maybe a half a second later, maybe a few yards shorter, maybe not exactly the right control you have on it, accuracy. So we'll see. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. But hey, guys, can't believe it. 2 hours is coming gone. I want to thank my guests, Evan Altman, for coming out and talking Cubs baseball with your boy. And then we just got off with Glenn Morgan from NBC Sports Chicago talking Bears football. I want to thank you guys. This chat was live as always. I appreciate it. Nomad, great stuff, Papa. I appreciate it. And again, dude, text me, let me know, man. I'll be love to come on. Brandon Schutz, Mr. Shorty back in town, baby. Shorty, great to have you tune in again. Luis Mejia, he's in the building. Thank you for tuning in and contributing. Obviously, a lot of the regulars, Armando, my guy Junior. All right, Shawn. All right. Jason was on, Jason Palmer, Cornelius, and everybody else. I hope I got everybody. I'm probably missed some people, but I appreciate it. We're gonna take a little break, and we'll see you on Wednesday. Same bad time, same bad channel, 9 a.m. to 11 Central Standard Time. So, for my executive producer Elliot Baez, my social media guy Clarence Council III, and my co-host in absentia Maya, and my guy Steve Weekly for getting all my clips together. Guys, I'm your boy, the Superback Shawn Sierra, at 12:15. Okay, at 12:15 or 12 should be 12 o'clock. I will try to move that up. Second City Sports is here on Monday with Lakina McGee and Sydney Brown. So make sure you tune into them, and then I'm going to replay this show at 3. All right, 3 or 4. To 3 o'clock, 3 to 5, and then 6 o'clock tonight. They're back, baby. They are back. What's Up, Cuz is back with Jason and Lance. So make sure you tune in. Busy Monday night here on Sports Zone Chicago. So you'll have that. You'll have a replay of this show at 3 o'clock, 3 to 5, and then 6 to 8 is What's Up, Cuz. Then I'm going to replay again Second City Sports starting at 8 o'clock. So we'll have. If you missed any shows on Sports Zone Chicago, you can check it all out. All right, folks, I am out of here. Guys, you have a great day. Weather's going to be nice. Get out there, enjoy it. Enjoy it. Summertime shy. It's coming to an end soon. Not here yet, but it's coming to an end. Your boy, the Superback. I'm out.